between the UKC Blue Devils and your Mount Allison Brownies. At this time, I'd like to please rise, turn towards the flag, remove your headwear for the playing of the national anthem. Their starting lineup today for the UKC Blue Devils. Number 4, Kevin Taylor. Number 8, Noah Lopez. Number 10, Kybron Kefti. Number 13, Marcos Donovich. And number 23, Caleb Rennie. And your starting lineup for the Mount Allison Brownies. Number 2, Keith Rowland. Number 5, Caden Augustine. Number 6, Jonas McCoy. Number 14, Ryan Morris. And number 24, Deshaun Ferguson.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the McCormick Gymnasium here on the campus of Mount Allison University for this ACAA men's basketball matchup between the University of King's College Blue Devils and the Mount Allison Mounties. My name is Tyler Vincent. Joining me on color commentary today is Ian Allen, and someone today will be going home with their first win of the season. The UKC Blue Devils come into this one 0-2. The Mount Allison Mounties come into this one 0-3. For the King's College Blue Devils, this is their third straight road game to start the year. They're looking to get their first win for the Mounties, their second home matchup as we're underway. And a quick score there for number 4, Kevon Taylor for the Blue Devils. He gives the visitors the early lead here. 5 on the floor for the Mounties: Rowan, Augustin, Monroe, Norris, and Ferguson as they go to Ferguson in the low post. Gets into the middle, shot no good, gets his own rebound, batted around and taken away by the Blue Devils. And back the other way they come here with Rennie. Gets into the lane, finishes with the left hand. It's a quick 4-0 run here in the first 30 seconds for UKC. Here's Ferguson working on Rennie. Charge called. Not the start you want to see if you're a Mountie fan. Back-to-back scores for the Blue Devils. An offensive foul there for Rayshon Ferguson. He picks up his first. A key part of this Mountie team for first-year head coach Mitch Weber, and you don't want to see him pick up a second here early. 5 on the floor for Kings. Number 4, Kevon Taylor. Number 8, Noah Lopez. Number 10, Kybron Kefti. Number 13, Marcos Vitanovich. And number 23, Caleb Rennie, as Lopez works with it now. Now goes to Rennie in the low post. Trying to work on Ryan Norris. Spins, gets him up, and finishes with the left hand. 3 possessions, 3 baskets for Kings. They lead 6-0. Rowan goes to Monroe in the corner. Drives baseline. He's cut off. Now gives to Ferguson at the high post. Tries an 18-foot jumper. It's no good. Rebounded by Taylor. Hits ahead here. Rennie, a 3-ball, no good. Rebounded by Ferguson. Here is Rowan coming back the other way for the Mounties. Calls out their horn set. Gives to Monroe. Gets it back. Drives left. Strong take. And can't finish with the right hand. Ball's batted in the air. And still loose, now controlled by the Blue Devils. Here comes Noah Lopez. Tries to give it up to Vitanovic, threw it out of bounds. And possession will go back to Mount Allison. Frantic pace here to start this one. Kings ahead 6-0 early on. Here is Rowan for the Mounties. Lopez guarding him there. Looking to use the Ferguson screen. He slips out of it. They go to Norris in the corner, now in the low post to Ferguson. Working on Rennie, faces up. Cross-court skip to Rowan. Tries to drive middle, steps back for three, off front rim. Rebound control by Rennie. He's going to look to slow it down here for UKC. Getting the offense set up, goes to Lopez, gets it back. Finds Lopez on the flare. Monroe there guarding him. Three ball on the way from Kefty is good. Kefty for three. And Kings ahead by 9. Monroe up top. They switch on the Ferguson screen. They go inside to Ferguson. Ball's on the floor, controlled by UKC. Here comes Rennie. Rennie on the drive, gets past Monroe. Kicks it out, three ball from the corner. It's down. Timeout, Mounties. An early timeout here for Mount Allison as the Kings College Blue Devils here in just under 3 minutes of play have opened up a 12-0 lead here, Ian.
Yeah, it's just Kings is playing solid. Like, they probably matched for the matchup size-wise between the players and positions is probably to Kings' advantage a little bit in this one. Just Mounty's been forcing the ball a little bit in a couple of spots. But other than that, it's Kings has been the one they're more focused on what they need to get done right now, and they're making sure that they get the ball up the court quickly to an open player, and they've drained those 2 threes,
Yep.
which helps things an awful lot. Their own confidence level, if nothing else.
Yep. And I mean, for the Blue Devils defensively, doing a great job applying pressure at the point of attack on the Mounties right now, getting a lot of deflections, getting their hands in passing lanes, and turning that into easy transition looks at the other end. What I'm really liking so far from UKC is what you mentioned, Ian, the time between the turnover and the bucket at the other end. They're really doing a great job running their lanes in transition and finding open shooters.
Yeah, Mount Allison has historically been one of the teams that wants to push the ball up the court the fastest, but Kings is outdoing them at that job today so far.
Yep. Great job so far by the Blue Devils. Mounties looking to get a good possession here, string some stops together, and get themselves back into this one. Still plenty of basketball left to be played. Less than 3 minutes into this one. Kings ahead by 12, though. Ball back in play here with Augustin. Goes to Monroe. They try to get Augustin off the down screen there. Can't do it. Now they go to Rowan. Goes high post here to Ferguson. Faces up on Rennie. Drives right. Rennie falls. Ferguson finishes. No call there. And Mounties picking up the pressure. Lopez beats it with the dribble. Goes here to Vitanovic up top. Now they go high post to Rennie. Working on Norris. Drives left. Gets into the lane. Tries to get up, and he finishes with the left hand and gives him the too small. A great job there working out of the high post from the undersized Rennie against Norris. Here is Rowan. Goes to the aforementioned Norris. He drives middle. Finds Monroe on the face cut and finishes and one.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to see now coming out of that timeout. With Mount A is actually sitting there now. They're actually they're instead of trying to force the ball in, they're running the offensive set so that they're getting the better chances at the net.
Well, and great movement off the ball there by Jonas Monroe to face cut in front of Vitanovic there and draw the foul. Gets himself to the free throw line for the first time. That's one of the things that Monroe is so adept at. I believe he shot 19 free throws in the last matchup against Crandall. He got there a ton, especially in the second half. And good on the old school three-point play there. Kings 14, Mount A 5. 6:10 to play and counting here in the first quarter. Rennie up top. Zone look here from the Mountie defense. They go up top to Vitanovic. This is Lupetu on the drive. Kicks out. Three ball off front iron there from Kefty. and Augustin coming back the other way.
Yeah, there was
Gives
good
to
pressure
Rowan.
on the shooter there.
They go inside here to Ferguson. Shot no good with the right hand. Gets his own rebound, and this time he finishes. Ferguson following his own miss, bringing the Mounties back to within 7. They kick it out here. Now Taylor's going to try a 3. No good. Offensive rebound put back by Kefty. He's got 8 of King's first 16 points here with the 2 threes and the putback. Rowan kicks it out. Augustin, 3 ball in front of his own bench. Off front iron. Ferguson nearly got the offensive rebound. Controlled now by Lupedu. Lupedu on the drive. Poked away, taken away by Monroe. Monroe, one-on-one, gets all the way to the rim. Blocking foul called on Taylor. He will pick up his first foul and will send Monroe back to the free throw line. Already his second trip there this afternoon. That's clearly a point of emphasis for the Blue Devils defense, is trying to draw those charges in. That's the third time here in the first 5 minutes. We had the successful one with Rennie on the first play of the game. One that was a no call and then the block there, but they're really focusing on getting themselves set and trying to get those offensive fouls from the Mounties early on.
Yeah, that's the best way to stop a team that wants to slash as much as Mount A will, is basically to make sure you've got those lanes filled with bodies and in position to play defense.
And no good on the second there from Monroe. Mounties applying some pressure here with Rowan and Augustin. Ball's on the floor. Who wants it? Augustin comes away with it. Now it's Ferguson, 1-on-0. And the two-handed jam from Rayshon Ferguson to bring the Mounties back to within 2 possessions. Here's Augustin. Now Rennie. Jumper on the way, no good. Rebounded by Augustin. He's got Powder ahead of him. Gives it up here to Monroe, and he finishes. Jonas Monroe for 2, and it's a 4-point game. Here is Vitanovic. A lot of ball pressure being applied here by the Mounties. Vitanovic, they're trying to go to Rennie and do. He's going to work on Powder, drives baseline, spins back middle, gets Powder up in the air, and a foul called.
Just a little too eager to go on to try and block that ball. Got the arm in there a little too soon and made full contact on the King shooter's arm.
Caleb Rennie is listed at 6'2", from Ajax, Ontario. Shout out to Ajax. But he is working out of the low post and the high post for Kings right now and doing a really good job against matchups that aren't in his favor. Right? Those are 2 strong takes that we've seen, one against Ryan Norris from the high post, one against Gabe Powder from the low post. Both of those guys have at least 4 inches on him, and he's doing a really good job of using his strength to get where he wants on the floor.
Yeah, that physicality is letting him make the space that he needs to get the shot off. It doesn't necessarily, but it doesn't necessarily have to outreach the other player. He's just making sure he's got the position.
Using
he's
that lower
physically
half.
strong enough to keep it.
Yep, absolutely. No good on the second free throw. Powder goes inside to Ferguson, and we got a foul on the ground. Charge that foul to the fresh face on the floor for the Blue Devils, number 24, Kevin Ofimi. And so the Mounties will have it on their own baseline, 14 on the shot clock here. They try to get a stagger action for Monroe. Good defense there from Kings. Now it's Powder up top, who goes to Tector. Asadu on the drive, gets middle, strong take. No call. Now we have a blocking foul called on number 23, Rennie.
It looked a little strange in that one. It was the furthest official. There was a bit of a delay in the call, but the other 2 officials were lined up. Basically, they had the players lined up straight between them. And the top official waited to see if they had the call, saw they didn't, and had to make the call because the defense was almost set, but not quite.
Yep. And once again, another bang call there for the Blue Devils. Really putting a lot of emphasis on trying to draw those offensive fouls from the Mounties, as Asadu will get his first look at the free throw line today. No good on the first. Asadu in his first year from Surrey, British Columbia. Traveled a long way to get out here to Sackville. product of the CTA West program in Alberta. Good on the second. Blue Devils 17, Mounties 13, 3:35 and counting to play here in the first quarter. As Lupetu has it up top here, guarded by Tector. Now they go to Ofimi. Ofimi hands it off here to Lupetu. Lupetu on the drive. Tries to kick it out, and it's taken away by Asedu. Asedu looking for a lane. Gets into the paint, kicks it out to Norris. Now Monroe. Ball traveling around to Powder. Shots no good. Rebound by Rennie. And a foul given on the ground there.
Yeah, it might not look like an awful lot of contact, but it was enough to create that disadvantage to the player with the ball. That's what forced the official to make the call.
Yep. And so Tector will pick up his first foul of the game there. Kings trying to get it in against some pressure. Monroe nearly knocked it away. Possession will stay with UKC. Nothing came off the shot clock there. Still a fresh 24. And they get it in here to McDonald Wood. McDonald Wood working on Tector. And ball knocked away. Foul given. And the foul is charged to number 8 of the Mounties, Simon Tector, who picks up his second. So both teams will be shooting free throws the rest of the way here. Just under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Blue Devils go in here to Taylor.
Oh.
And Asedu slipped.
Lost his balance and wound up tripping up the UKC player and forced them to. Again, it's not a call you want to have to make as an official, but you don't have a choice.
Right. And a tough one there for the Mounties, as that is their 5th of the quarter. So not the way that you want to put UKC in the bonus for the final 3 minutes, as well as Kevon Taylor will head to the line for 2. Good on the first. Taylor in his first year out of Hamilton, Ontario. The Steel City. And good on both there to extend the Blue Devils lead to 6. Here comes Asedu back the other way for the Mounties. Gives to Monroe. They go top of the key here to Powder. Now Asedu. Drives right. Strong take on Ofimi and finishes. Count the basket for Kwame Asedu.
Yeah, Ofimi for Kings was basically trying to figure what was going on with that. Yeah, he went up. Tried to block, tried to get a hand on the ball. There was no contact up there, but it was shoulder to hip contact, which is what created that, which is why that call was made.
And I have to give full disclosure that I used to coach Kevin Ofimi at the University of Waterloo. And I'm not happy with him giving up that middle drive so easily. And I'm going to get on him for that after the game.
Sounds fair.
So Asedu at the line here looking to complete the 3-point play. Off back iron. Ball's batted around. Controlled by Rennie. Here come the Blue Devils back the other way. Bang, bang play there. It's a charge. Great job by Ryan Norris there to stand in and take the charge near midcourt from Kalen McDonald Wood. And so possession coming back the way of the Mounties.
Yeah, we got Jacob Seymour and Jerome Williams who have just tapped in to come in for the Kings player.
Yep. Here is Tector. Goes up top to Ferguson. Now back to Tector in the corner. Shot fake, drives middle. Strong take, can't finish with the right hand. Ball's batted around, gets his own rebound, missed it. Gets his own rebound again, kicks out to Norris for 3. No good. And rebounded by Taylor, and a foul given there by Tector. He knew it as soon as he reached in. We knew it up here as well. And so Tector, just 8 minutes into the game, has picked up his 3rd foul.
Ooh. And as being he's probably usually number 2 off the bench. But it's just, that's going to limit his minutes from here to the end.
Right. And what will drive Coach Weber crazy there is to put them on the free throw line, fouling 80 feet away from basket.
Yeah, and a frustration foul.
Right. Although Taylor no good on the front end. He's got one more here. Second one is up and good. And so UKC ahead by 5 here, 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Here's Rowan up top for the Mounties. They go to Norris. Now to Asadu in the corner, a 3-ball on the way, off back rim, and knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Kings and Kevon Taylor. So Mounties will get a sideline out of bounds opportunity here, 14 on the shot clock. They go stagger here for Norris. They get it to him up top. Uses the Ferguson screen. They go to Asadu. Now Norris again. They're trying to get it to Ferguson in the high post and do. He drives right. Strong take. No good. Ball batted around. Still free. Controlled by Norris. Fresh 14 for the Mounties. Norris pushes off. Offensive foul on Norris. And possession will go back the way of UKC. And so 1:33 to play here in the first quarter. Possession going back to the Blue Devils. And they go into Taylor here. Some better play from the Mounties in this last 5.5 minutes or so. It was a 12-0 Kings advantage as we see the drive and finish there from number 11, Jerome Williams. Blue Devils lead back up to 7. Here's Norris in transition. Drives with the left hand. He's fouled by trying to get the number here. Number 22, Jacob Seymour. So Seymour picks up his first, and Norris will head to the line for the Mounties, looking to trim the deficit to 5. Trims it to 6 there on the front end. That was a big story in the last matchup for Mount A here against Crandall last week. A large number of travel calls and a large number of foul calls on both sides. Both teams heading to the free throw line quite a bit. We've seen that here in the first quarter of this one. Both teams were in bonus with 3 minutes to play, and we've had quite a few free throws since. Kings go inside here to Williams, and he's fouled again by Asadu, who picks up his second. And so for Coach Weber here, you're not really losing your mind because your starters have been able to stay out of foul trouble. But for a team that doesn't have a ton of depth coming off the bench, it's tough to see Tector and Asadu get themselves into foul trouble.
Yeah, it'll definitely give Coach Weber something to think about as things go along, where he's going to be able to fit them back in, because they're both essential parts for filling minutes to get a little bit of rest for those starters.
Mm-hmm. And so Jerome Williams, we get our first chance to talk about him today in his 4th year from New Glasgow, Nova Scotia. And missed the back end of the free throws there, so the Mounties coming back the other way here with Rowan. Rowan hands off to Augustin. He's going to try a 3 from the 45. It's down. Caden Augustin for 3. The Blue Devils went under on the handoff there, and Augustin made him pay. We got a 1-possession game here. Blue Devils can go 2 for 1 if they want it. It's up top with Vitanovic. Now Taylor for UKC. Uses the Vitanovic screen. He's going to try a 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Devereaux. Maybe a half-second difference here between the shot clock and the game clock. It's very close. Mounties are going to hold for the last shot of the quarter. And ball's taken away by Taylor. Good defense there from the Blue Devils. They kick it to Williams in the corner for 3. It's long. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Ferguson's got to put it up from half court. Too strong off the top of the backboard. And so we have reached the end of the first quarter here in Sackville. It's the UKC Blue Devils ahead 23-20, a slim margin over the home Mounties, Ian.
Yeah, not bad. It's kind of got to be happy with the score. We're going from there. And the thing is, like, Mount A started out a little slow on that offense, a little hesitant on the offensive sets. They've cleaned that up a little bit. There's still a lot of contact on both sides, not quite as much as the women's game we just had before this, but we're getting a higher percentage of it being called. It's nice to see that both teams are still willing to be aggressive. And one bonus I've saw for Mount A, built from last weekend's game against Crandall. Their outside shooting is much. It hasn't stood out yet, but it's still much better than it was last weekend.
Yeah, and a great point there to mention about the Mounties offense. Currently last in the ACAA in points per game at just under 69. 20 points in the first quarter. You like that pace towards 80. Defensively for the Mounties, a little bit skewed in that 12 of those 23 points for Kings came in the first 3 minutes of the game on that 12-0 run that really got Kings off to a hot start. So a great job in the last 7 minutes of the quarter of holding Kings to 11. That's probably where Coach Weber will want to be for the majority of that game, in that sort of 12 to 16 point range per quarter for Kings, or even lower. Couple players to watch here for UKC. Caleb Rennie did a really good job in the first quarter working out of the low post and the high post for UKC. For the Mounties, Caden Augustin hit a big shot towards the end of the first quarter there, coming off the handoff. We'll see if Kings makes any adjustments to their coverages there. Overall, both teams showing good things in transition. We got a couple shout-outs here.
Yeah,
on the YouTube
Jamie Rowan, let's go Mounties. Jerry Mumford, let's go Mounties. And a whole slew of messages from Neokivia Ferguson, let's go Mounties. And when they're back during the quarter, we're down 14, down 10 to go. Yeah, let's go team. Way to go, Fergie. Rashawn Ferguson, who's she's reaching out for, commenting on the pressure was happening, says, let's go. Good comeback. Let's pick it up now from her. And almost ever-present message from Carolyn Vincent. Hi, Tyler. Let's go, Mounties.
Hi, Mom. Shout out to all of our viewers on the Mounties side, on the Blue Devils side. We thank you for joining us on YouTube and ACAA TV. Outside shot, no good there for the Mounties on the first possession. Now we get to see the Blue Devils for the first time here in the second quarter. Lopez on the drive, kicks it out to Williams. 10 on the shot clock. He's going to work on Monroe. Calls Vitanovic up for the screen. Fakes it out. Crossover. Knocks down the three. Great play there from Jerome Williams.
Yeah, used the screen, stepped around, and then stepped back and just drained that three-pointer.
Mounties have an opportunity to respond here. They go to Ferguson up top. Now to Rowan. Rowan drives left, kicks to Devereaux in the corner. Trying to work there on Seymour. Now Monroe, top of the key for three. No good off back iron. Rebound control by Seymour and safely in the hands of Lopez. Lopez on the drive gives to Williams. Thought about another three, now puts it on the deck. And ball was deflected out of bounds there by Devereaux. Good job by the first year getting his hand in the passing lanes there. And so UKC will have a sideline out of bounds opportunity here. They go to Vitanovic, now Williams. They go here to Kefty, and a foul given on Augustin. So Augustin picks up his first foul. And so the Blue Devils will get another side out opportunity here. Kefty to inbound for UKC. Box set here for the Blue Devils. They pop the big. And they go here to Vitanovic. Now Kefty on the handoff. Tries to pull up. It's no good from the free throw line. Offensive rebound there. Kick out to Lopez in the corner for three. No good off back iron. Augustin rising high to take that rebound away from Kefty. Augustin working in transition. Strong take. Can't finish with the left. Gets his own rebound blocked. Gets his own rebound again and finishes and one. Count the basket for Caden Augustin. Charge the foul to number 11, Jerome Williams. He picks up his first.
Yeah, Augustin definitely picked up some confidence making that three-pointer late in the first quarter. He's out here. He's playing much more confident in the offensive sets than he was in the most of the first quarter.
Well, much more confident and much more aggressive too, right? Like a great take there in transition. He snatched the defensive rebound away, took it all 94 feet, couldn't finish the first time, followed it up twice, as he's no good on the free throw there, but followed it up twice and got himself 2 points. Here is Lopez. Gives now to Williams, now to Kefty. Drives on Devereaux. Right-handed shot, no good. Rebounded by Monroe as he looks to push the pace in transition. Monroe trying to go all the way. Ball was deflected. Now out of bounds, and possession going the way of UKC. Monroe not happy there. He thought he should have gotten a foul call. And so Ryan Norris will check back into the game for the Mounties here, replacing Brennan Devereaux. And now here is Caleb Rennie for UKC, being guarded by Keith Rowan. Rowan goes under on the screen. Rennie tries the three. It's off back rim. Ball's batted around. 50-50 ball on the floor, controlled by Ferguson and the Mounties. And thrown away. They're going to say it was deflected out by the pressure that Ferguson was receiving there. So possession will stay with Mount A.
Yeah, in the backcourt, they will have only 2 seconds to get that ball across the court to avoid an 8-second call.
Yep, great point there. And I don't know if the Mounties know that. And an 8 count. They didn't know it. Rowan didn't realize that he only had 2 seconds to throw it out to get it over.
Yeah, that's a situation where anybody on the court or on the bench needs to make sure everybody's on the same page for that.
And so that'll cause a timeout here from head coach Luke Stevenson of the Blue Devils. Chance here to go through some of the stats for both of these teams, looking to improve on some numbers offensively for the Mounties. Currently lowest in the conference in points per game, field goal percentage, three-point field goal percentage, and assists per game. We're definitely seeing a better offensive output from them in the first 12-plus minutes of this one.
Yep.
For Kings, looking to improve on some defensive numbers. Currently last in the conference in rebounding and steals per game. They've done a really good job today of ramping up the aggression and forcing some turnovers from the Mounties.
Yeah, they definitely have. Like, both teams have been doing some great pressure again on defense, but they've also, for the most part, they've done it to a point where they're not drawing fouls. There would have been, I think, there were 3 block calls against the Kings in that 3 or 4 in that first quarter.
Yeah.
But then again, they're just trying to. Most of those were all, except for one of them was blatant. The other 3 were just borderline on timing.
And we're ready to go here again as Lopez has it up top, gives to Vitanovic. 10 on the shot clock here. They're trying to go inside to Rennie and do. Asadu's there. Ferguson swipes at it. Rennie spins, and they're going to call a travel there. Good job by the Mounties of showing Rennie a different look than he's seen so far in the low post. A good swipe there from Ferguson. Made him shuffle his feet and gives possession back to Mount A. Here is Monroe up top for the Mounties. Looking to use the Ferguson screen, picked up his dribble. Now they go to Ferguson in the high post. Trying to drive right, banging down low, no good. 50-50 ball is lost out of bounds. Possession will go back to UKC. 26-22 our score in favor of the Blue Devils. 7:05 to play here in the first half. We thank you for joining us on YouTube and on ACAA TV, wherever you're watching from. Step-up screen set there by Rennie. That's who they go to now. Ball's on the floor. Kicks it out. Ofimi for 3. Short. And out of bounds. Possession will go back to the Mounties.
A couple of quick shout-outs on our YouTube chat. Skip Salis is a shout-out to Sam Pearson, former Mount A player. And Michelle Jakes is shouting out to Shano, which would be Rashawn Ferguson.
That would be Rashawn Ferguson's rap name. Go follow him on SoundCloud. Rowan for 3 at the top. It's down. Keith Rowan for 3. Cuts the UKC lead to 1. On the drive, here is Lopez. Floater in the lane, no good. Ferguson comes away with the rebound. Pushing ahead in transition. One man to beat. It's Ofimi. Drives and finishes. Rashawn Ferguson took it 94 feet from the rebound to the rim.
Yeah, and first lead for the Mounties in the game.
First lead for Mount A. Lopez up top. Gives to Vitanovic. Good defense there by Monroe. Drives left. Strong take. Knocked away by Monroe. Stolen away by Monroe. A lot of contact. No call. Mounties got to get it over. Just 3 seconds here. They throw it ahead to Asadu. Shot fake. Drives middle. dishes it off to Monroe. He finishes with the layup.
Yeah, that's more the ball movement we were hoping to see from the Mount A players, because they said historically this program has moved the ball up the court and moved it around quickly to get those better shot positions.
Yep, Mounties doing a good job defensive rebounding and turning it into early offense as Lopez misses the floater. Now Kefty outside tries the three. It's good. That's his third of the game. And you got to get a hand there. He's hit 2 already. You got to respect it no matter what his numbers are. Monroe, no good on the 3. Tries to save it. And controlled by the Blue Devils. Vitanovic in transition. I thought he might have walked there. Couldn't finish the layup either way. Monroe driving on Lopez. They try to trap him in the corner. And a foul given. And so charge the foul to number 8, Noah Lopez of the Blue Devils. He picks up his first as we crawl under the halfway mark of the second quarter. Currently a tie game at 29. Baseline out of bounds opportunity here for the Mounties. 17 on the shot clock. Rowan will be the trigger man. And Monroe dives to the rim. Couldn't catch it cleanly. And ball's lost out of bounds by Monroe. And possession will go back to UKC. And a bench warning issued.
Coach was getting a little vocal.
The Blue Devils.
Yeah, he was getting a little vocal about the play down there. And I could see it because Monroe, when the defense stepped away from him, he would lean against it. And there were a couple of steps before the ball went out of bounds. That's what he wanted to make sure that got called.
And ball on the floor here. Now Taylor working from the slot against Augustin, and a foul called on the floor against Caden Augustin. He picks up his second. So got to be careful here with 4.5 to play in the first half that he doesn't pick up the third. He's the only starter for the Mounties currently in foul trouble. And they try to go inside to Kifty. Just couldn't catch the ball cleanly there.
Yeah, he was thinking about putting that step back along the baseline to get inside again before he actually had the ball in his hands.
Possession goes back to the Mounties with Rowan. Here is Monroe. Going to be picked up by Taylor. Now Rowan guarded by Kifty. Rowan on the drive, gets middle. Strong take, tries to finish with the right. Great scoop there, drives left and finishes right. Keith Rowan with a nice take to restore the lead for the Mounties. Here is Taylor up top directing traffic. They go to Kifty. Pistol action here. Kifty for 3. Off front iron, ball's batted around, controlled by Asadu. He pushes with pace. Now Rowan thought about the 3, drives baseline, finds Asadu on the cut. Now Augustin for 3. It's good. Caden Augustin for 3. It's his second of the game. He's hit big shots so far for the Mounties. And it forces a timeout here for Coach Stevenson and the Blue Devils as the home Mounties lead by 5.
Yeah, Mounties did an excellent job in that last couple of series down in getting the ball. Like, if they weren't open down low once they got into the ball, they were kicking it back out. That last one proved it. Caden Augustin had a wide open shot from 3 points and drained it.
Yeah. Mounties offensively doing a really good job running their lanes in transition here. They might not get the initial look off the run out, but because they're running their lane so well, it leads to the open kickouts that we see, like the one we just had for Augustin. Mounties also doing a much better job on the defensive end. I've seen the ball on the floor a lot. They're doing a great job applying pressure at the point of attack, getting those small deflections where it might not lead to a turnover right away, but because the ball is on the floor, it's not allowing Kings to get into their offense as fluid as they would like.
Exactly. And I said that kind of pressure is good. It's like Kings has been doing some of it, but there seem to be not Mounties found a way to start to work around that. Kings with a really hot hand shooting at the start, that first couple of minutes of the game, 3 minutes of the game. But since then, it's Mounties sort of worked their way back in. They've got the lead now. This is more what we're seeing right now is more what I was expecting to see out of both of these teams, where there's going to be a lot of 50-50 balls, a lot of close shots, but everything almost everything's going to be contested, especially once it gets inside the key.
And of note, the Mounties ahead 14-6 here in this second quarter. So doing a better job on both ends of the floor, finding easy looks and making it difficult for Kings to get into their offense. And
I think they're just trying to correct, because right now the score clock is showing 2 timeouts left for Mount A and 1 for Kings, and it should be 1 and 0.
Yeah.
Because I think it just has to do with how that thing's been programmed when we started up. It has 3 on it rather than. Why they're leaving? There we go. I was wondering if they were going to catch that. I noticed that late in the first quarter.
We're all sorted out and ready to go here, and ball is tried to go to the high post, taken away by Powder. 1 man to beat, and Powder finishes with the right hand. Biggest lead of the game for Mount A. They're ahead by 7. Kick to the corner here. Now they go back up top to Lupetu. Lupetu drives left, gets past Rowan, blocked by Norris, and a late foul call there, as they're going to say that he got him on the wrist and not on the basketball. And so Norris, consequential foul there for him. He picks up his second. And so it'll send number 5, Kevin Lupetu, to the free throw line, as he's no good on the first. Second-year point guard from Quebec. Kings has a really diverse roster of Nova Scotia, Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, PEI, Croatia, Manitoba. They've got people from all over representing the Blue Devils. And here's Monroe up top for the Mounties. Goes to Asadu, trying to work off the Powder flare screen. Now they go low post to Monroe. And a good cut from Powder. Pass was just a little ahead of him. Out of bounds on the weak side. Possession will go back to UKC.
Ferguson checking back in the game for Powder.
Good minutes there from Powder, the second year out of Almonte, Ontario, near Ottawa. And back the other way come UKC with Lupetu. They're looking to go top of the key here to number 13. That was Vitanovic. Now they find Williams for 3. It's off front rim and controlled by Ferguson. And nearly lost it. Asadu comes away with it. Trying to break down on Seymour. Now they kick to Norris. Got Williams up in the air. Good stutter step and finishes. Good Euro step there from Norris to get himself into the lane and away from the defender. And the Mounties extend their lead to 8. 2.5 minutes to play here. Up top, Vitanovic. Now Lopez tries to drive past Augustin, and a double dribble on Noah Lopez. So the violation will give the ball back to Mount Allison. And we see Keith Rowan check back into the game for Mount A, replacing the first-year Asadu. And we see Rowan working with it now. They go up top to Ferguson. Ferguson working on Williams. Strong take with the right hand and finishes. Great job by Ferguson using his athleticism there. A lot of pressure being applied by the Mounties. They got to scramble back here. And shot fake there from Seymour on the drive. Dishes underneath. Layup no good from Williams. Rebound controlled by Ferguson. Ferguson on the drive. Gets all the way to the rim. Can't finish with the right. Blue Devils looking to break out in transition. Lopez. Lupetu up top. Screen set by Vitanovic. Rowan goes under on it. Vitanovic going to try a 3. Top of the key. It's down. Kings have done a good job shooting from the outside here in this first half. They cut the lead to 7. Ferguson on the inside. They don't have an answer for him right now. Ferguson doing a great job in transition, not only with the dribble, but also with the rim run. Gets a deep seal there and a finish for 2. They try to trap Lopez. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession will stay with UKC. 14 on the shot clock for the Blue Devils. As we see a sub coming into the game, Augustin's going to check out with the 2 fouls. Asadu will replace him for the final minute 4 of this quarter. Kefti to inbound. They go to Ofimi. Ofimi goes to Rennie in the low post, working on Asadu. Rennie tries to go up, no good. Gets his own rebound, lost the ball. They kick it out. Kefti for 3. It's good, and 1. He's been a story of this first half. Kibram Kefti's hit 4 threes. Now he's got a chance for a 4-point play. I believe he's up to at least 14 points on the day.
Yeah, it'd be close to that. The intriguing thing from that series was the fact that how much contact there was down below and no call. And then that one, yes, there was contact on a shooter, but I'm not sure.
I wonder if it may have been getting into the landing space. Here's Rennie up top for 3 off the jab. No good. Rebounded by Ferguson. Chance to go 2 for 1 here for the Mounties. Rowan tries to drive baseline. Cut off there by Rennie. Tries to go inside to Monroe. Ball still on the floor. It's out of bounds. Possession will stay with Mount A. And we'll have a timeout here with 32.9. Coach Weber wants to draw something up here on the baseline for his Mounties.
Yeah, definitely. That's what this one's all about right now, because Mount A, up to this point in this quarter, has been doing fairly well. They've been playing even keel, smart choices. They started scrambling a little bit in the last minute or so, and I think that he just wants to get them back onto something that he sees will work for an offense and make sure and remind them they need to run it.
Yeah. Well, and not only executing this offensive set here, but also getting a stop, right?
Yep.
Like, Kings have only scored 13 points in this quarter. Mounties have done a really good job defensively. We had the 4-point play on the previous possession. It's got to be a point of emphasis for the Mounties here to close on a high and set themselves up for success in the second half. Pretty consistent offensive performance so far from the Mounties too. The best that we've seen so far this year. 42 with a couple of possessions left here in the first half. Again, a team that normally is averaging 69 points a game to start the year. So if you're Coach Weber, got to be really happy with the offensive output from your guys so far. 32.9 to play. If you get a quick one here, if you're Mount Allison, you could go 2 for 1. We'll see what the Mounties do here. They go to Monroe. They try to trap it in the corner. They kick it out. Asadu, top of the key for 3. No good. Rebounded by Rennie, and a foul given there by Keith Rowan. And that's a bad foul to give, as I believe it's going to put Kings in bonus, and it does. And so Rowan picks up his first. But because it's the team's 5th, we will have 2 free throws here with 25.6. Caleb Rennie will go to the free throw line here. As we see Aiden Shepard come to the table. He's going to replace Kevin Ofimi for his first action of the day. And so Rennie, no good on the first. He's really been an impact guy for the Blue Devils so far this year, averaging better than 21 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. I had Monroe and Rennie as the key matchup in this one. I think Rennie's done a better job individually, but the Mounties lead by 5 here. And they can hold 1 second difference, shot clock, game clock. They can hold for the last shot here. Horns look here for Mount A. Asadu goes to Monroe. Now to Ferguson. He keeps it on the handoff, drives all the way to the rim, and he's fouled. Good strong take there by Rayshon Ferguson. He'll get himself 2 free throws here with 8 seconds left in the half. And charge that foul to number 32 of the Blue Devils, Aiden Shepard. He picks up his first. And so Ferguson no good on the first free throw. The 6'7" forward in his 3rd year from Nassau, Bahamas. better known across campus as Shawno, as mentioned on our YouTube stream.
Drop the second one.
And so a 6-point lead for Mount A. Last chance here for the Blue Devils here in the first half. They go to Rennie. Stripped by Monroe. He's got 1 second, puts it up from half court. No good. And so a great close to that first half there for the Mounties. They were down by as many as 12 in the first quarter. They've completely turned it around and now lead by 6 heading into the second half, Ian.
Yeah, that first 3 minutes or so of the first quarter where Kings went on that 12-0 run, went from there, just Mount A looked a little unfocused, disorganized almost at both ends of the court. But I think since then they've pulled it together. They're actually working together. It's setting up better spacing defensively, so they're blocking lanes a bit better, and they're matched up on the men with the ball. Maybe want to try and make note of outside shooters, get a little better pressure on them. One in particular who has 3 threes for Kings. Kings is playing well. They're moving the ball well. They've let up a little bit on the defensive pressure, only because they're not trying to set up. It doesn't look like they're trying to set up for those blocks as much anymore. They're just trying to make sure they're in position to fill a lane, which can be as effective as taking a block.
Yeah, absolutely. And I expect both teams to come out with a ton of intensity here in this second half. Both currently winless. Kings 0-2, Mounties 0-3. Games like this, so crucial when it comes to playoff seeding down the road. The Mounties will look to defend home court. They took all 3 matchups last year, and they're hoping to do the same and take the first one here this afternoon. We thank you for joining us on YouTube and ACAA TV, and we look forward to seeing you in 15 minutes for the start of the second half. And welcome back to the McCormick Gymnasium here on the campus of Mount Allison University for the second half of this men's basketball game between the University of King's College Blue Devils and the Mount Allison Mounties. The home Mounties currently ahead by 6 in this one, 43-37 over the Blue Devils. Top performers so far for UKC. Kibram Kefti has hit 4 threes. He's 5 of 9 from the field, 14 points. And Caleb Rennie, 3 of 6 from the field. He's got 8 points and 5 rebounds. For the Mounties, it's been Rayshawn Ferguson leading the way for the home side. He has 13 points and 9 rebounds at the break on 6 of 13 from the field. Good performances in the first half from Caden Augustin and Jonas Monroe. They have 8 points respectively. For the Mounties offensively, really happy with their numbers if you're Coach Weber. Currently a team that's averaging 69 points a game on 35% shooting. They've got 43 at the half and shooting 47% from the field. Both teams have led by double digits in this game, actually, if you can believe it. UKC had a 12-point lead less than 3 minutes into the game. It was a 12-0 run that got the Blue Devils started. The Mounties have led by as many as 10 late in the first half, and that has been cut to 6 as we are getting ready for the start of the third quarter here. 5 on the floor for the Blue Devils. We have Taylor, Vitanovich, Kefti, Othimi, and Rennie. For the Mounties, we have Rowan, Ferguson, Norris, Monroe, and Augustin. And we're all set to go here in the third quarter. Ball comes into Othimi. Now it is Taylor up top. Kefti. They try to go inside to Rennie and do, and Rennie can't finish, but foul is called underneath. And so Caden Augustin will pick up his third foul.
Yeah, it was a late call, but it was the correct call.
Right. I was just about to say the same thing. I thought when he went up, I'm like, I don't know. I think that might be 2. Rennie misses the first one. Good offense there by Kings to get Rennie where he wants the ball in the low post there. Just wasn't able to finish through the contact. And so he splits the pair there. And we quickly have a sub into the game for Mount Allison as Kwame Asedu will check in to replace Augustin, who just picked up that early third. And here's Ferguson. Thought about the jumper, now gives it up to Asedu. Rowan at the top. Mounties got a space out here. Rowan looking to go inside to Ferguson and does. Working on Othimi, tries to get middle, spins back to his left and finishes and 1.
That offensive move was incredible to see from a second-year player who doesn't have a lot of basketball experience coming into Mountie. He hasn't been playing for that many years, but he's still learning the sport. He's still eager to learn and wants to improve. And moves like that are showing that he's going to just keep getting stronger.
He's going to keep getting better, and he also, unfortunately, missed quite a bit of time last year. So he won Rookie of the Year in his first year, missed a lot of his second year due to injury, and now he's playing a huge role for this Mounties team as they go inside to Rennie. That's back-to-back possessions where Kings have gotten that pass over the top against the full front defense from Mount A. Got to have backside help there as Asedu drives. Strong take with the right hand, no good. Ball's batted around, and possession will stay with Mount Allison, 12 on the shot clock. And we got a foul away from the ball.
Yeah, that one was on Vitanovich as he was trying to sort of restrict Monroe's movement across the baseline.
So Vitanovich picks up his second. And now Ferguson, guarded by Othimi, gives it up to Rowan. Rowan wants to go one-on-one here with Kefti. Now they go back into the low post. Ferguson drives with the left, and he traveled. So strong take there, baseline. Instead of going up, he shuffled the feet And that's why the turnover happened there and possession back to Kings. Here is Taylor. Now Vitanovic. Ofimi in the high post. Goes inside to Rennie. Rennie underneath. Reverse. No good. Rebounded by Asedu. Good job there by Kings of slowing down the Mounties transition. Monroe. Ferguson up top. Drives right. Euro step. Kicks out to Rowan. 13 on the shot clock and counting. Rowan drives right. Stops. Kicks it out. Norris for three. In and out. Rebounded by Rennie. Here comes Caleb Rennie back the other way for the Blue Devils and hits it ahead to Vitanovic, who lays it in with the left hand. And we've got an early timeout here for the Mounties. Kings have cut the Mount A lead to just 3.
Yeah, Coach Weber's definitely wants his team to get in there and be more of a defensive fixture. Right now, Kings is almost walking into the hoop at will. They're being defended, but they're not being cut off to that lane as early as they should be.
Right. And that's really the key here, is that they're not forcing Kings to slow down and run their offense in the half court. They're getting a lot of opportunities out of their primary and secondary break right now. And they also need to do a better job on those post-entry passes, the ones that are being floated in over the top to Rennie there, just making sure that they have that backside help to be ready to contest on those layups.
Yeah, Rennie has been doing an excellent job of making himself available inside. For somebody 6'2", when he's stepping down that low post, he's physically stronger than most of the guys, even the taller guys he's playing against. And that basically, once he gets position, it's tough to defend him at that point.
And I have to say, I might have to go stand next to him after the game, because I think 6'2" might be a stretch. I say that with all due respect, because he's playing out of the post and he's doing a fantastic job down there, undersized.
I'm just going with what's listed on the program. Could be wishful thinking in some cases. I know in previous years, there are various teams around AUS and ACAA have both, shall we say, had some very imaginative heights.
That's an epidemic. That is across basketball at every level, I think. As here is Monroe for the Mounties, gives to Rowan. They go stagger action, curl for Norris, and good defense there by Taylor. He knocked it away from Asedu. Here comes Rennie, right down the middle of the lane, kicks it out to Kefty. A 3-ball here from Vitanovic. It's down. Marko Vitanovic for 3, and the Blue Devils have tied the game at 45. Here's Norris. Offensive foul. Called on Keith Rowan there. So Rennie ran into the brush screen that Rowan was trying to set. I think he was just trying to ghost it. He wasn't actually trying to set a screen there, but because that contact was made and it obstructed Rennie's path, and the screener was still moving, that's why the offensive foul was called. 45-45. Mounties and Blue Devils, 7:36 to play here in the third quarter. Here is Taylor with it for UKC. And tries to go to Kifty, knocked away by Monroe. Possession will stay with the Blue Devils. Good job jumping in front of that pass there by Jonas Monroe, Mounties senior and captain. Here's Taylor. They go up top to Ofimi. He's looking to go inside to Rennie. Now they go back to Taylor. Drives left. Floater with the right. No good. Rebounded by Asedu. Here is Monroe. Trying to work on Taylor. It's knocked out of bounds. Possession will stay with Mount Allison. Ball comes back in here to Rowan. Rowan working on Kifty. Now gives to Asedu. Up top to Ferguson. Gives it back. Asedu's going to try a 3. Top of the key. It's off front iron. And rebounded by Rennie. Rennie pushing the pace. Hits it ahead. Taylor. Thought about to pull up now. Goes inside to Kifty for the layup. And for the first time since midway through the second quarter, the Blue Devils have regained the advantage. Here is Ferguson. Long 2 on the way. No good. Rebounded by Taylor. Kings have really upped the pace here in this third quarter. Kick out. Kifty. Another one. No good. He's already got 4 in the first half. Off the mark there. Rebounded by Monroe. Gives now to Norris. Thinking about it with Rennie on him. He drives left. Gets back to his right hand. No good, but a foul is called. And so Ryan Norris will get his first trip to the free throw line today. And that foul will be charged to number 4 of the Blue Devils. That is Kevon Taylor picking up his second. Third team foul of the quarter. Only 2 team fouls for Mount A so far, so neither team in threat of bonus just yet as Ryan Norris heads to the line for the second time today. Good on the first one. Ryan in his second year from Ottawa. Playing in the reverse Grinch Kobe's, it looks like. Very popular model for basketball players these days. And here come the Blue Devils. This is Taylor on the pull-up. It's good. Kevon Taylor got the ball back there from Aiden Shepard. Made no mistake on the free throw line pull-up. Kings back ahead by 2. Here is Monroe up top, gives to Powder. Powder keeps the handoff, drives right. Good take, shot no good. And rebound control by Rennie. Rennie working on Powder, gets in the lane, drops it off to Shepard. Shot no good, but he was fouled on the way up. And so 2 free throws coming here for Aiden Shepard. And the third foul of the day picked up by Kwame Asedu. It'll bring Simon Tector back into the game for the Mounties, also currently with 3. Got to stay disciplined here. Shot is good from Shepard. First-year center from Aylesford, Nova Scotia. And missed the back half. Kings extend their lead to 3. Here is Rowan. Rowan drives middle. Strong take, comes to a stop. Now Powder in the high post. Trying to go inside to Tector. It's knocked around and possession controlled by UKC. Here's Rennie on the far side. Thought about giving to Taylor. Now drives middle and an offensive foul. It's a moving screen there on Aiden Shepard. And so he will pick up his second foul. And it's Kings' 4th of the quarter, so the Mounties will be in bonus the rest of the way. Slice cut there from Monroe, trying to use the Powder screen is Rowan. And a nice strong take will get himself 2 free throws there. And charge the foul to number 13 of the Blue Devils. That is Marko Vitanovic picking up his 3rd foul. And so for the Mounties, you love to see that you've got over half the quarter to play in the penalty. Look for them to be really aggressive, trying to get the ball downhill, probably trying to play through the post a little bit more, see if they can get themselves to the free throw line. As Rowan good on the first there. Rowan, the second of our Ottawa Mounties, also in his second year along with Ryan Norris. And so Rowan's free throws cut the lead to 1 as the ball's taken away there by Tector, blocked by Ofimi. So Ofimi gave the ball away and then got it. He recovered with the block there. But possession stays with the Mounties. 22 on the shot clock. Here's Monroe. Puts the ball on the deck, drives with the right hand. He's fouled by Shepard. So Shepard picks up his 3rd. And Jonas Monroe, just as he did in the last matchup against Crandall, doing a good job getting himself to the free throw line to get himself back in a rhythm to start this second half.
Again, Shepard did have good defensive position. He just brought the arms down and made the contact there.
And Monroe good on the first to tie the game back up at 50. Chance to give the Mounties the lead again here with the back half. And off back rim, batted around, controlled by Rennie. Pressure look here from the Mounties. They get out of it with Williams. Kicks it cross court. Taylor's going to try a 3. No good. And an over the back call on Jerome Williams. And so that'll mean free throws for the Mounties here. Simon Tector is going to go to the line for the first time this afternoon. Simon in his third year out of Halifax. Good on the first. And the Mounties regain the lead, 51-50 here. 4:44 to play in the third quarter. Tector good on both. And good pressure being shown here from the Mounties. Here's Williams across the timeline. They're trying to trap it with Tector. He finds Rennie, a pull-up from the free throw line. Touched every part of the rim, didn't fall. And rebounded there by Tector. Now Rowan on the far side for Mount A. Goes to Powder. Powder faces up. Hands off to Monroe. Monroe on the drive, gets left. And ball out of bounds. Last touch by UKC. And substitution into the game here for the Blue Devils is number 22, Jacob Seymour, will check in to replace Aiden Shepard. 6 seconds on the shot clock here for the Mounties. Tector to trigger in. Rowan dives to the front of the rim. They can't find him. Now they go to Powder. 5 on the shot clock for Mount A. Powder trying to drive. Kicks it out. Norris for 3. Off front iron. Offensive rebound for Rowan. A floater. No good. No call on the block charge there with Rowan and Rennie. Now it's Seymour back the other way. Gives to Ofimi. Finds a cutting Rennie. And we're going to get a foul call. The Mountie bench wanted the travel call, but they're going to say that the steps were forced by Simon Tector knocking Rennie off balance on his cut there. And so the foul's on the ground. It is the 4th of the quarter for the Mounties and also the 4th personal for Tector. So he's going to check out. Kings will be in bonus for the remainder of the quarter. Here is Ofimi up top. Gives to Williams. They go now to Taylor. Taylor drives left. He traveled. Just picked up that back foot before he started his dribble. And so possession will go back to Mount A as we see Ryan Norris check out of the game. And Rashawn Ferguson, the difference maker so far for the Mounties, checking back in. Here's Rowan up top. Now they give to Ferguson. Ferguson hands off to Monroe. Monroe, a pull-up from the elbow, touched every part of the rim and fell out. Rebounded by Ofimi. Here is Taylor for the Blue Devils. They go dribble handoff. No, Taylor keeps it on the drive. Gets baseline, now kicks to Rennie. Strong drive with the right hand. Shot no good. Ofimi with the offensive rebound and the putback finish. Ties the game back up at 52 for UKC. Here's Rowan. Steps back on Rennie. Now gives to Powder. Powder drives right. Strong take. Can't finish with the right hand. Ball's on the floor. Controlled by Rennie. And now given to Ofimi. And up the floor he finds Williams. Can't finish on the reverse. Gets his own rebound. Goes up. Draws the foul. Can't finish, but he is going to get 2 free throws out of it. And so charge that foul to number 15 of the Mounties, Gabe Powder. And I believe we have a flop warning on Rennie for the block charge at the other end of the floor with Rowan a couple of possessions ago.
I can see that because he's spent an awful lot of time. Like he's got some fouls. He's drawn some fouls, but some of them I've sort of been wondering, okay, there was contact, but was there actually enough to create the reaction?
I genuinely think there were a couple of times where he was in good position, but got there a half step too early and then was like, okay, I got to go down and try and get this call. So he's lucky he got the no call, but he does get the flop warning there. Here is Rowan. Gives to Ferguson in the high post. They switch it. Now Kifty on him. Ferguson, strong take and 1. Great take there from Rashawn Ferguson. Charge the foul to Kifty. He picks up his first. And so the Mounties regain the lead, and Ferguson will head to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. No good on the free throw. Rebound control by Williams. Here is Williams, goes dribble handoff here with Kefty. Monroe right there to pick him up. He's all in his shorts. Tries to poke from behind. Now they kick out to Williams. Williams cut off. Now Ofimi drives left. He's cut off. Great defense here in the half court from the Mounties. Up top, this is Seymour on the drive. Rolled around and out. Rebound control by Ferguson. Now with Powder. Powder attacking with speed. Euro step in the lane. No basket. Charge called. And so Powder, he's picked up 2 quick ones here in the third. That's his 3rd foul of the game. And a great job there from Kefty of standing in, sacrificing his body for the team and taking that charge there. 54-53 Mounties. Just a second under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter as we see Brennan Devereaux check back into the game for the Mounties, the first year from Moncton. Here is Williams up top, guarded by Rowan. They set the step up with Kefty. He's guarded by Devereaux. Drives right, a floater in the lane is no good. Rebound control by Seymour. Kicks it out to Williams. 8 on the shot clock. He drives. Seymour cut off. Now gives to Williams. No good. And tapped home by Seymour on the putback. And a hit-ahead pass here to Devereaux on the drive. He finishes with the right hand. Strong take from Brennan Devereaux. And the Mounties get the lead back as quickly as they lost it. Kick out to the corner to Kefty. He drives baseline. Finishes with the right hand. Mounties not doing as good a job as they were in the first half of applying ball pressure. They're allowing those baseline drives, trying to poke it from behind, but the Blue Devils are getting what they want at the rim. And a good cut there from Asadu, but they're going to say that Ferguson traveled first. And so no basket there for the Mounties. 1 minute to play here now in the third quarter.
Yeah, it was pretty subtle, but Ferguson did switch his pivot feet down when he went to make the pass.
Yep. Still good action there from the Mounties.
Oh, definitely.
Up top, this is Kefty working on Devereaux. Pull up from the elbow is no good. Rebounded by Ferguson. He's more than secured his double-double now. Devereaux for 3. Good! Brennan Devereaux for 3. A big-time shot from the first year. And the Mounties lead by 2. Here is Williams, guarded by Rowan. Now Ofimi up top. Gives to Lopez for 3. Off back iron. Rebound controlled by Ferguson. Shot clock turned off. Mounties can hold for the last shot here. And that is what Coach Weber is instructing them to do. Horns look here. They go to Norris. Now Rowan with it. They go inside to Ferguson. Shot no good. Batted around. Controlled by Kefty and the Blue Devils. And we have reached the end of 3 here at the McCormick Gymnasium in Sackville. The Mount Allison Mounties continue to hold a slim lead over the Blue Devils. It was 43-37 at the end of the half. Now just a 2-point 59-57 lead in favor of the Mounties, Ian.
Yeah, no, it's good ball. It was both teams were a little scrambly at the beginning of that quarter again, but Mountie in particular settled down in the last 3 minutes, and maybe could have been a little more solid in defense, but they were still in the right place. They were making good offensive choices and getting better shots and which enabled them to make them.
Well, and I can say that Mountie stability on offense that you saw towards the end of the third quarter directly coincided with the return of Rashawn Ferguson to the floor.
Yeah.
He has been a huge difference maker in this game for the Mounties. And now an opportunity. What more can you ask for? A 2-point game heading to the fourth. An opportunity for both of these teams to get their first win of the season. The Mounties looking to close out the Blue Devils here. They had an opportunity against Crandall. Similar situation. They trailed by more against Crandall, but a 12-0 run to start the game for the Blue Devils really put Mount A in a hole, and they have clawed their way back into this one as we have a couple of shout-outs, I believe, on the YouTube
an awful lot of it is just Ferguson's had a lot of support from down home in the Bahamas. A lot of shout-outs from Nichelle Jakes. Niakivian Ferguson and Hood Fave Goat. I'm not sure, but he's basically commenting on how tough Rashawn has been playing. And Paul Leroy, Ferguson having a game, keep it up. And that's generally what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing here in the gym right now. It's just kind of crazy, but he's shown a lot more poise with the ball offensively than I've seen, especially in lower post-ish situations, than we've seen from him in the last little while. It's nice to see that. I actually saw him working on ball handling with Emmanuel Adugna.
Yeah.
Adugna before the game. And just Adugna's out for a while. Whether he'll be back in after Christmas, we hope, but we'll see. But that, I think, just sort of helped making Ferguson more comfortable handling the ball.
Yeah, and we see it in transition too, right? Ferguson will get a lot of rebounds and just look to break out right away. His handle has improved immensely over the last little while, especially working with veteran guards like E-Man, who we hope to see back on the floor in the second half, as you mentioned. Here is Ofimi up top for the Blue Devils. Gets into the lane. Shot no good with the right hand. Rebound control by Augustin. Nifty behind the back move to get away from his defender. Now it's Norris in the corner. You can tell they're looking for 24. They get it to him. He kicks it out. Devereaux thought about another three. Now he's going to put it on the ground. Gives to Asadu. Devereaux on the drive with the right hand. No good, but he's fouled by Ofimi. And so Brennan Devereaux will head to the free throw line here. I don't have it in front of me, but I believe Devereaux went to Harrison Trimble High School in Moncton. A good local pickup for Coach Weber in his first year as Mounties head coach. And he knocks down both free throws. Big impact minutes from the first year this afternoon, it must be said. Sort of a coming out game for him, we hope, for the Mounties.
Yeah, definitely his best offensive showing so far this season.
Absolutely. Here is Vitanovic up top. Now Williams working on Asadu. 4 on the shot clock. Gets middle, throws it away. Trying to find Kefti on the cut. Lost the ball out of bounds. Possession goes back to the Mounties. Both teams making changes here as Kevon Taylor and Caleb Rennie check back into the game for the Blue Devils. Jonas Monroe replaces the rookie who we had all the praise for just a moment ago, Brennan Devereaux. He should be happy with the minutes he put out there this afternoon. Here is Monroe. Gives back to Asadu. They get Monroe on the flare screen. They try to go inside to Ferguson. Good job by Rennie to cut off that passing lane. Here come the Blue Devils back the other way. Now it's Taylor. And he traveled. Yeah. Caught the ball, shot fake, jab. Picked up his foot on the jab before he dribbled. Yep. Travel called. And no argument from the UKC bench.
Third or maybe fourth travel call we've seen this game as opposed to the 5 or 6.
13 or 14.
5 or 6 per quarter last weekend.
Yeah. A cleaner game, you might say. And Rowan uses the Monroe screen, gets all the way to the rim and finishes with the left hand. Strong take there from Keith Rowan. And the Mounties ahead by 6. Vitanovic back up top to Taylor. 3 ball on the way. It's down. Kevon Taylor for 3. And it's back to a 1-possession game. Big shot there from the first-year guard. Here's Monroe. Looking to use the Ferguson screen. He's going to take the 3. It's too strong. Batted around. Controlled by Augustin. And no good. Monroe back up. No good. Still loose underneath. And Augustin finally finishes for Mount Allison. Back the other way. Vitanovic. No good. Rebounded by Ferguson. Now Norris will control the pace for Mount A. Monroe. They're trying to go to Ferguson. They go Horns look here. They use the Rowan screen. He flares off. Rowan puts it on the deck. Lost it. And bodies on the floor. It was a 50-50 ball. Rowan and Rennie, I believe, were the ones that crashed into each other. Rowan, the one that's more worse for wear. I think he got hit in either the lower back hip region.
Yeah, and for that action, Rowan was actually given a warning for flopping. I I take exception to that one at the moment because I saw the player roll in and basically take his legs out from under him. That's not a flop. That's just trying to go down without hurting yourself any more than you might already be just from the contact.
Yeah.
If anything, that should have been a Kings foul. I don't normally jump on sides that hard for when it comes to officiating, but that's one where the player rolled in, took him out, created the disadvantage for the Mountie play. It should have been a foul on Kings.
Well, and also you don't normally see a player stay down for 2 minutes after they flop.
Yeah.
But that is the decision of the official. We respect it, and we move on. So the Mounties will have a side out here. Just 1 second on the shot clock, so they got to get something up quick. Look for potentially something at the rim. A lob to either Monroe or Ferguson, or Norris potentially as well. Kings, interestingly, putting 2 on the ball here to stop the ball from getting in. Monroe gets the shot away. It's no good. And we've got a foul underneath.
Yep.
And the foul is going to go against Kings.
Yeah,
I believe it's on Rennie.
He was complaining about the fact he just thought he blocked the guy out, but the problem is the shooter went up, was in the air. He made the contact and kept backing out through and took the legs out from underneath. That's why the foul was called.
Yeah, the Blue Devils wanted an over the back on Norris, but
kind of hard when you go straight up and come straight back down again.
Exactly. Here is Ferguson working from the top. Guarded by Rennie. Kicks it out now to Norris. 7 on the shot clock. Got to make a move. Drives left. Cut off. Ball taken away there. Good steal from Kefty. And the travel there. Good pressure there from Asadu and Augustin. Forces the turnover from Kefty. And wins possession back for the Mounties. Norris will check out of the game. And we see Devereaux check back in. Here is Asadu up top for the Mounties. Gives to Monroe. Gets it back from him. Turns the corner. Strong take from Asadu. It's no good. Wanted a foul call. Not going to get it. Here is Taylor back the other way. It was deflected. Ball's going to stay with UKC. And now Rowan and Powder will check into the game for Asadu and Ferguson. Taylor inbounding for UKC. Nearly got a 5 count. Now they give it to Lupetu. Now Rennie up top. 13 on the shot clock and counting. He's got Augustin on an island. He wants to work one-on-one. Drives left. Ball's knocked away. Taken away by the Mounties. Here comes Monroe back the other way. Kicks it to Rowan in the corner. Gets it back from him. Now Augustin. He's going to try a 3. Off front rim. And an offensive rebound for Rowan. Short corner jumper for Powder is no good. And controlled by UKC now with Taylor. Guarded by Devereaux. Taylor drives left. Lost the handle. Taken away by Rowan. It's 1-on-0. And he finishes with the right hand. Timeout. UKC. 5:54 to play here in the fourth quarter. Mounties have their largest lead of the quarter. They are ahead by 7, 67-60 here, Ian.
Yeah, no, this is going good. Like, both teams were a little bit off when they started out that quarter, when they started this quarter. Just seemed to be a little unsure of where they were moving. Both teams have both in the last 2.5 minutes, both teams have just tightened up their defense, which is what needed to happen.
Yeah, and for Coach Stevenson, what he's really going to be telling his guys here is to value the basketball, right?
Yep.
Not many possessions left. I mean, we still have time, but you've got to value every possession here, especially when the last 2 have ended in turnovers based on the pressure that Mount A's been applying on those drives, right? And if you're Coach Weber for the Mounties, telling your guys, keep that pressure up, And then on the offensive end, look to execute, find your guys, right? Try to play through Ferguson, try to play through Monroe. Let your guys go and win you this basketball game. Teams are out of the huddles and ready to go. Kings have it in the full court. Mounties looking to apply some matchup pressure here. Rowan picking up 94 feet. They break the press and get a good strong drive there. Dumps it off and a foul on Augustin. I think Augustin's wishing that the ACAA had replay. He thought he got a clean block there on Caleb Rennie, but instead he's called for his 4th foul. And that's the downside of pressing full court, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Kings do a good job of breaking it. McDonald Wood with a strong drive leads to 2 free throws for Rennie. Rennie was good on the first one there, and he's good on both. Asedu will check back into the game here for Augustin. 5-point game, 5:45 to play. Kings going to match that matchup pressure here. Theirs is a little more passive, as they just want to slow the Mounties down. Brush screen there from Asedu. They now go to Devereaux. Happy feet there, no call. Monroe skips it to the corner to Rowan. 6 on the shot clock. Got to make something happen here. Gives to Asedu. Back to Rowan for 3. Got it! Keith Rowan with a big-time bucket at the end of the shot clock. And the Mounties have their biggest lead of the 4th quarter. They're ahead by 8. Taylor finds McDonald Wood on the drive. Lost it out of bounds. Possession's going to stay with UKC. 11 on the shot clock here for the Blue Devils. This is Vitanovich up top, working on Powder. Gives to Taylor. Taylor uses a Vitanovich screen, shoots a pull-up. It's off front iron, gets his own rebound. Missed the second chance opportunity. Rebound controlled by Powder and the Mounties. Monroe, a kick ball there as he was trying to find the rim-running Powder in transition. And so we'll have a side out here for the Mounties as Powder will give way to Rashawn Ferguson at the 4:48 mark here of the 4th quarter. Ferguson up top. Rowan lost the handle. Taylor's got a one-on-one, and he's fouled by Rowan. Rowan frustrated with Ferguson there. The miscommunication on the handoff causes Rowan to have to give his 3rd foul. And we'll get 2 free throws here for Kevon Taylor. I have to say, there's been a lot of this game that hasn't really had a great flow about it. We've had quite a lot of foul calls, a lot of trips to the free throw line. Not arguing for or against any of the calls, just an observation on the flow of the game. Good on both free throws there. 6-point lead here for the Mounties. They go low post to Ferguson. He's working on Rennie. And Rennie gets the charge. And so Ferguson picks up just his 2nd foul. But a good job there by Caleb Rennie to stand in there against the bigger Ferguson and get that charge call in the low post. Mounties kind of need to reel it in here. Back-to-back possessions with turnovers. Got to get a stop here and turn it into points on the other end. Here is Vitanovich for UKC. They go now to McDonald Wood. Vitanovich drives left, cut off, and throws it away. Just what the doctor ordered for the Mounties. Here comes Rowan. Devereaux. Monroe in the corner for 3. Got it! Jonas Monroe, a big-time 3 for the Mounties. And they lead now by 9. Vitanovich on the drive, finds the back cutting Rennie, kicks it out to McDonald Wood. Taylor puts it on the deck. Rennie, corner three on the way. Got it! Caleb Rennie answers right in front of the Mountie bench. And it's back to a two-possession game. Here is Asadu. Now Ferguson up top. Gives back to Asadu. He's going to try a three of his own and knock it down. Kwame Asadu makes the Blue Devils pay for going under on the handoff. And the lead is back to 9. Here's Rennie. He's going to try another three. Off back iron. Rebounded by Asadu. Now controlled by Ferguson. Ferguson through the middle of the floor. And we got a foul one way or the other, and it's going to be a block call this time on Caleb Rennie. I think he may have gotten set underneath the restricted circle, which is why the call was block instead of charge there.
Yeah, both feet were definitely down inside that block charge circle.
And so Rennie will pick up his third foul. And we have a timeout here called by Coach Stevenson of the Blue Devils. 76-67 our score here. Caden Augustin playing the role of hype man in the Mountie huddle right now. Trying to get his guys going here for the last few minutes of this one as the Mounties look to close out their first win of the 24-25 season and of the Mitch Weber era. Coach Stevenson and the Blue Devils looking to spoil that party here over the last few minutes. Again, started hot and have had spells of good possessions here in the second half, so you can't count the Blue Devils out. We've seen their ability to put up points in a hurry when they can get out in transition. So really important here for the Mounties to execute offensively down the stretch. 3:12 to play here in this one. Mounties 76, Blue Devils 67. Teams look ready to go coming out of the huddle now. But before we get back to live play, we have free throws here for Rayshawn Ferguson, the difference maker for the Mounties this afternoon. Ferguson rattles home shot number 1. And the Mounties with their first double-digit lead here of the fourth quarter. And off the front rim, gets his own rebound and finishes. Rayshawn Ferguson, Coach Stevenson is arguing for a violation there. He thought Ferguson went too early. Got his own rebound off the missed free throw and laid it up to give the Mounties their biggest lead of the afternoon. Here is Kefty. Free throw line jumper, no good. Rebounded by Ferguson. He's pushing with pace in transition here and lost the ball. A foul is called. And a tech is... And he's been thrown out of the game. We'll wait to see who the initial foul was on. It's on number 10, Kibram Kefty of the Blue Devils. And after that foul call, head coach Luke Stevenson picked up back-to-back technical fouls. And so he has been ejected from this one.
Yeah, he's been showing he's been voicing his disagreement with officials' calls quite a bit. Earlier in this half, they were given a bench warning, or was that in the second quarter? But that was for the same and it just he arguing, then started arguing the technical call, and that's how we got the second one.
I do have to say, I didn't see the foul that put Rowan on the free throw line. I do kind of understand a little bit of the frustration shown by the Blue Devils bench there.
Yeah, it was another 50-50 play. It could have gone either way. Officials were in the best position to see it, though.
And so an opportunity for Blue Devils assistant Jaden Norden for the last 3 minutes of this game. try and get the Blue Devils back into this one. So because we had the technical foul, the Mounties will retain possession after the free throws. So normally it's 1 and the ball off a technical, because
on a player
Stevenson
technical, but
got
not
ejected. It was 2 technicals, which means 2 free throws, and now possession of the basketball for Mount A. 81-67 is our score. 2:46 left in this one. Rowan to inbound for Mount A. Ferguson up top. Now Monroe gives back to Ferguson, working in the low post on Ofimi, kicks it out to Devereaux. Now Rowan on the drive. He's got to put something up. He's fouled by, I believe, Caleb Rennie. Yep, charge that foul to Rennie. He picks up his 4th. And more free throws here coming the way of Keith Rowan. Just knocked down those 2 technical ones on the last possession. And good on the first. I'd be interested to see the foul count at the end of this game, because it feels like I've spent a lot of time ushering guys to the free throw line with my voice as opposed to calling live play. Rowan, good on both there, extends the Mountie lead to 16. Here is Taylor, uses the Ofimi screen, gets downhill with the right hand, cut off, tough shot, got it. Tough bucket there from Kevon Taylor, a little step back jumper from the elbow. Kings got to get stops here. They're down 14 with 2 minutes to go. Here's Rowan using the Ferguson screen. They switch it. Rowan looking to get it inside to Ferguson. They do. Ball still on the floor. Now kicks it out to Rowan. 3 ball on the way. Off front iron. Rebound control by Taylor. Taylor getting out of the Mountie pressure there. Gives it up to Williams in transition. And 1! And so a mental mistake there from the first year, Devereaux, as he gives the foul on the shooter in transition. And so count the 3 for number 11, Jerome Williams. He'll have a chance to make it a 4-point play and cut the lead to 10. Got to expect quite a lot of pressure here in the last minute 49 from Kings, looking to force turnovers. Williams good on the free throw. Here is the pressure from UKC. Good job by the Mounties to break it with Ferguson through the middle. He nearly lost it. Ferguson drives all the way, finishes with the right hand. The lead back up to 12 now. Good hit ahead pass to Kifty. What a find there from Caleb Rennie from beyond half court. And it's back to 10. Rowan beats the press with the dribble. And a charge. And I think Coach Weber just wants to calm his guys down here. 1.5 to play. Still a double-digit lead for the Mounties. But the Blue Devils doing a good job executing in transition. These last couple of possessions have gotten themselves some easy buckets. And now the turnover here on the charge call will give UKC a chance to cut this to 7 or 8 on this next possession, Ian.
Yeah, no, it's been good ball. Like, a lot of scrambling happened, a lot of pressure both sides. And if you noted earlier, I think we've had more. Kind of curious about the free throw count, because there's been a lot. There've been a lot of shots by both sides. Foul count's probably up a little bit from where we normally would like to see it, but it's broken the game. So that has broken the game up. But I think there's still good ball happening. The Mount A's basically got themselves back into this one, pulled ahead by playing more consistent defense than they have up to this point during the season. Not just little spurts of that defense. And offensively, they're more willing today, seem to be more willing to work through their offensive sets and get the ball to open players rather than try and force the ball through lanes that aren't there.
Well, and I think something to mention with the Mounties, this is a very young team.
Oh.
And especially early in the year, you expect quite a few of those rookie mistakes. The Mounties have had leads in other games this year, haven't been able to close because of those stretches where they've had those mental lapses. They have done a great job of putting together a full 40-minute performance this afternoon. Rennie underneath, can't finish. And a foul given And the foul is on Rennie.
Well, he also could have potentially gotten teed up because of that. The contact was made. There was a delay.
grabbing
Then,
the
then,
jersey
then he,
of-
well, he grabbed, but he also flopped because yes, there was contact, but he reacted to contact, and then he threw himself back.
Right.
And that, based upon the warning that they've received already for that, I'm surprised that one wasn't called. I think that might have been why the official was standing there, just trying to make sure everybody was settled, and he give himself a couple more seconds to make sure exactly what he was going to report to the bench.
And so with that foul, the Blue Devils star player Rennie picks up his 5th. So he will be out of this contest for the final minute and 21. Jonas Monroe will head to the free throw line now. Good on the first. Noah Lopez checking into the game in place of Caleb Rennie. And Monroe good on both. 87-75, Mount A. A minute 20 to go. Williams gets past everybody, kicks it out to Taylor for 3. No good. Rebounded by Rowan. Mounties got to get it over the timeline here and do. Now Devereaux. Kings haven't fouled yet. Doesn't look like they are going to foul. They're going to try to apply some pressure to see if they can get a turnover, but they're not going to turn this into a free throw game. Here's Rowan on the drive. Kick out. Devereaux for 3. Good. Brennan Devereaux knocks down another 3 for the Mounties. They're up to 90 on the night. And they lead by 15. 3 from the corner is good from Kifty. He's hit some big-time shots for UKC this afternoon. They throw ahead to Devereaux. Now a Seydu. Devereaux. Rowan. And Coach Weber instructing his guys to hold the basketball and take the shot clock violation here. Rowan, he's going to shoot the floater instead. And Ferguson can't finish the putback. Fresh shot clock lays it in. And a foul given there by Jonas Monroe. So he picks up his first. And Kevon Taylor will get an opportunity to pad his stats a little bit here with the 2 free throws down 14, 15 seconds to play. Good on the first. And good on both. As the Blue Devils cut it to 12. Turnover there. Kefty turns it over again to Ferguson. I think there should have been a kick ball. Williams for 3, no good. Rebounded by Monroe. They cross half, and that is going to do it. And so the Mount Allison Mounties pick up their first win, not only of the season, but a special congratulations to head coach Mitch Weber, who picks up his first win, not only as head coach of the Mounties, but in his head coaching career. So a special day for Coach Weber. We'll look to maybe get him the game ball for this one. Strong performance from the Mounties, especially on the offensive end of the floor.
Yeah.
Their biggest output of the year, 92, and led in large part by number 24, Rashawn Ferguson.
Yeah, Rashawn Ferguson, and then again we also had lost the name in my head. Brendan Devereaux coming off of the bench. Those two were key on what happened. And as I noted earlier, I think during that last time out, Mountie they were playing more consistent team defense, so they were in the lanes, blocking things properly. There were a few lapses when they let Kings get into the lane a little more, drive through the lane a bit more than they should have. But overall, that's probably the most consistent defensive showing we've seen from them, even including preseason games.
Yeah, and I mean, something to build off here for the Mounties, right? They are now going to 1-3, and the grind doesn't stop for them. They are on the road to Fredericton tomorrow, take on a pretty talented St. Thomas team. Tip-off in that one is set for 3 p.m. on YouTube and ACAA TV. For our Blue Devils fans, their next game tomorrow afternoon, back at home in Halifax, their home opener tip-off in that one, also set for 3 p.m. We thank you for joining us on YouTube and ACAA TV this afternoon for this action between Mount Allison and UKC, and we hope to see you for the next one. Have a good night.